Hello, sorry. Can you guys hear me again?
Yes, we can hear you, Richard.
Okay, typically on accounting side will be 2 to 3 days, depends on the module, your coverage for the start. Then the accounting and inventory will be 3 to 4 days. This is from my perspective. You can do it differently. I mean that depends on what you're going to be covered. And what you see to me, the implementation step is just what we think from my end perspective, that the complication of the software, that is how I will run on the 600 evolution approach for as core implementation. There's no right and wrong. You can play around if you prefer to have a software to be self-standard training and support. That is your decisions. But for my personal advice, that if you do that, the high risk of the customer might misuse the software. You end up, because with a proper guiding, you might end up with a lot of support call on troubleshooting because they might be used wrong way or mistakenly and generated transaction. Lee, one day typically I'm talking about working hour around 8. Lee, how much do you charge? It depends on your business. Depends on your rate.
Yung matitira kasi doon, yun na yung sales tax, sabi din.
So, sorry.
Yes, go on. Sorry.
Kaya nga, yung matitira, kapag nag-GJ ka na, at the end of the month, yung matitira doon.
Guys, please take this opportunity to, ask questions to Richard. This is actually a peer sharing session, so you can able to give you an advice how to get started for Sage 100, by sharing guidelines, how to implement. So this is your opportunity to ask questions, guys. Thank you.
Will there be any detailed training that you can provide?
Ma'am Len, na-discuss ba sa inyo ni Pirates Philippines yung request for payment?
How customer pick was, I would say this was subjective question, depends on your customer. For example, that I have ongoing implementation with accounting and stock inventory. I'm running on 50 minutes, still ongoing. From Software Depot, the customization or printing depends on the situation, whether your services can be covered. Normally, my site on the normal report, just like I mentioned, that because it's been used for the inventory, I did cover it because part of my bundle inside of my setting and configuration that customize the packing slip to the DO, and help the customer change the standard on their invoice format or payment voucher is required, but not others additional report they included. Unless this is my mandate, but unless there is some pre-agreement, as I say, your statement of work is important. How many mandates, what the scope of work will be included on the services, you're able to spell out, and both parties won't be surprised. End of the day will be great. Kevin, normally on the quotations, I put one price on the total of my quotation. But the mandates breakdown I will do in my statement of work. It's not in my quotation and how I run the services. Of course, I put some clause there. You'll be depends, but the services on the day will be guarantee will be used up.
Okay. Kaya nga, dapat...
Hi everyone, this is Kamlesh. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Kamlesh.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so first of all, I'd like to thank everyone for joining the session. We organized this session today because many of our Sage 100 Evolution partners have requested us to give them some guideline of how they should do a quotation for this product, how they should charge their clients, what are the components that they need to price, what are the things that they need to think about with every installation. So we worked with Richard, who was very kind to offer his help with this, to share his personal experience in doing this, because he has done this for many of his clients in the past, and he's quite familiar with these kind of products. So we requested him to share how he does it with all of you, to give you a general idea of how this is done. Now, Richard has what he has presented is basically a general guideline to charge for either 10 man days or 15 man days. But again, this is a general guideline. It's not a hard and fast rule that you have to do a minimum of 10 days. If your client requires less work, you might be able to finish it in 5 days as well. So it really depends on the case-by-case basis. But the bottom line is the things that have to be done. I think he has listed it out very clearly. And you use that as a guideline when you're quoting your customers. And the common question we're getting right now is how much do we charge our customers for all these things? Now, Richard has given a recommendation of 10 to 15 man days, provided all those things need to be done. Then it's up to you to basically determine how much you want to charge as your normal billing rate to customers on a daily basis. So for your UBS or Sage 50 installations, if you normally charge like 500 ringgit per day, then you just take the 500 ringgit times the 10 man days. But if you think that the customer can't swallow that kind of price, then you can think about doing some kind of a discounted per day rate, or come up with a package price for the customer, so that buying the software plus your services it would normally cost maybe 5,000 ringgit or 10,000 ringgit. But if you sign up for my services, then I will give you a discount of 1,000 or 2,000 ringgit. So it's up to you how you get creative with your pricing. But the intent of this event today was to give you a guideline, not only particular from one of fellow peers. Richard is just like you guys selling the software as well. So instead of coming from us, it's coming from one of your peers of how he does it. And again, he has volunteered to share this session. So I would love to share this with all of you. Okay, so I'll just pause now. If you guys have further questions, please feel free to bring it up.
Richard, we have one question here. So, what is your advice for annually services contract?
Come again, Melanie. I can't hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So, we have one question here. What is your advice of annually services contract? Maybe you can give your advice on how you charge on annually service contract.
The maintenance contract, you mean?
Kasi si una, meron silang enterprise, tapos may client sila sa ibang bansa na Pro. Ginawa nila, meron silang ginawa sa enterprise.
For maintenance contracts, currently I'm still selling such business plan. That's my own business point of view. Of course, that you can charge your own maintenance contract. Let's say company say it depends on your business model. what is the price that your customer will be accept, and also reasonable to run your business.
Thank you, Richard. Another question here. Are you quoting one lump sum or a breakdown item by item?
Normally we go, if I show you, I share with the team the package. We do a package, it's a package deal because some is bundled in what the activity. So it won't be itemized, it will be like 10 days, X amount of dollar is what we do until the software go up. And unless after we use, it's not spelled in the package or not spelled in, not spelled out in the SOW on the activity, then of course, on my business point of view, that I will charge a la carte per man days or per half day, depends what customer require need to be done. So I will play on the package deal. So that B is a full coverage, package A, package B, and let customer make the decision what package they will be engaged in. Can be, I just give you example A and B, E. You can have A, B, C, D. What will be good, what not be good of a package creativity you want to throw to the market. But the day's breakdown of BD will be normally spelled in the SOW or statement of work instead of quotation, because you don't I'll say force your down, say customer say I don't use this, I use this, then there's no more package deal.
Hey everyone, it's Kamlesh again. Okay, while we're waiting the next question come in, another question another request we've been getting from our partners is you guys are asking for a detailed training session for this product. Now, if you recall back in February or March, I think it was February, happiness here, and they conducted a 2-week training course, which many of you attended, which is great. But some of you also told us that the training was too detailed and too long, too much time spent out of your office. So what we did in response to that was to create all the training modules as a self-learning module, where you get into the partner portal and it's you look at the training materials and you study yourself and you take the exam yourself. Now the next thing we've been hearing is beyond that you still need help. You still need some kind of face-to-face training where you can ask questions. So I'm just letting you know that today's training is only the beginning. Today is a peer-to-peer sharing session on how to quote your customers. We are in the process of organizing a training for you guys. I'm not sure who will be conducting the training at the moment, but we are going to organize a training session for all our partners, where you can come in and learn more about the product in detail, and ask questions about installation, about product features, and so on. So we'll inform you very soon about the training dates for these partner trainings. Now at the moment what we have is we have 4 training dates that we have already reserved for our customers. So if you remember, you guys who came for the launch event of Sage 100, we had promoted the 99 ringgit training. We already planned for October to conduct those customer trainings, which will be seminar style training. It's not going to be hands-on, so that's meant for customers, but we will be organizing a detailed training session for you guys. It will not be 2 weeks or anything like that. It will probably be 1 or 2 days. We will go through what we think is critical, and then we leave it to you to ask us what questions you have and tell us where you need help. Okay, so very soon we'll come back to you on the dates for your